with me, Joe, Tweety, annalilyashleyjane, aj7-lj13, jaz7-lj channel, etc. Okay, I'm back from my room, in my room, from the Freedom Race Meeting, New Jersey, every weekend, every Sunday, and I'm going to recap on what I've done in this week and the previous week in my social network, and also in the what do you call it, Freedom Race Meeting Mall. I'm going to touch up on the Oscars the previous week, the Oscars 2016, and who I want to win, and why I wore that shawl, that big angel-looking sweater, that morning, is because I wanted DiCaprio to win. Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously, and he won because he embodied and he symbolizes a lot of the royal kids in the past and in the present that got taken to, and he's royalty himself. And I found out if that's his mom's side is Hindenburgen, which is a variation of von Hindenburgen, and through von Hindenburgen is the member of the house of the ancient house of Berg, and also ancient house of Lindenberg, Sturm, okay, which is the higher nobility of Europe, okay, and through, I think, the line of the leopard, the famous leopard who married leopard who married Putin, which is a variation of Put, okay, and I forgot to mention, okay, through that line, there's also the Knights Templar, okay, who's named Sir Thomas Holt, okay, of Kent, in 1185. He was a Knights Templar, so there's the connection. Shows higher. So that's most likely why they accepted Leonardo DiCaprio's movies, and specifically the Romeo and Juliet with Claire Danes, and also Danish, and also the Titanic, which is the Titans, okay. And they also those movies I never saw in the movie theater because I wasn't born, okay. I saw that things after they had DVDs laid out for me to watch, so I know. Okay, and another reason why Leo DiCaprio also looked like another guy from Phoenix, and they accepted one movie of his. Okay, I didn't know one movie. I never saw in the movie theater, only in DVD. There you go. Okay, it was Stand By Me, and now we know why, because his on his mother's side has a Myers, like 2 miles and 2. So there you go. There's a link to the Sea-Watch International, you think? The Da Vinci Code. So that's most likely why they accepted that. So I touched up on that, and I also wanted to fill in the details, because there's a lot, but you can get the details in my social network, okay, of all the pictures and what it symbolizes. If you have any brains at all, you would figure out what they're all linked to. Okay, so another one I want to fill in the detail with the Dalton and Dalton, okay, effect, which is linked, totally linked, and to like I said previously, to the situation at hand, like again, the Da Vinci Code, and again the royal kids that got taken to from previous in like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s until present now. Okay, so there's a definite link, and the link is through the seafood too. There's a Dawson seafood. There you go. So I wanted to fill in the details on that too. And I also, this week, okay, it's all about the poets, okay, and yeah, and the reason why is because the previous week I mentioned about Pellegrino, okay, Camille Yusuf Pellegrino, which I believe is another royal kid that got taken. Her mom, her dad is Pellegrino, her dad and her mom is Reynolds. There you go. So when I look back and I mention her, where I met her in the Nightingale, it takes me back to the poets, and 2 specific poets, like I said, specifically came into mind. these three were close, at least close to my age range. I mean, they were older than me. I was definitely underage. Like in 2006, 7, I was probably like 9 or these were 9 or 10. Okay, but developed. Okay, 9, 10 around there. Okay, so underage, but they were like I'm probably in the 20s or yeah, about early 20s or something like that. So so obviously wanted to hang out with at least some kids my age that was doing the same interests in the performing arts and auditioning and poets slam and stuff like that. Because there was most of them were older people, older poets in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. So come on now, think about it. I'm a kid. Okay, so and there's a reason why they came into my life. Okay, now we know. Yeah. Here. Um, I showed and bought Thomas Fuculero. Okay, the next is chicken. Okay. Um, and also attempted landings like Will Morris. Okay. AKA Billy Aspo. And yeah. Getting back to Billy Aspo or Will Morris. I met him in the Nightingale lounge, and I met Thomas Fucularo in the Smith Bar and Grill in the daytime, and the Nightingale with Will Marsh in the nighttime. So yeah, I wanted to hang out, and so I asked him to hang out with me after after school. Then I went to the auditioning, and poet, slam poetry poet at Nightingale Lounge, and that's where I met him. And so yeah, I went to hang out to get to know at least somebody at least close to my age and stuff like that. And so we went to a symbolic, okay, the Ugly Coyote or some lounge or bar lounge, I think, and there was a movie of that, and I found out. So that was definitely symbolic, and we hung out, not make out, get it? Okay, but yeah, exactly. So he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, that night, I remember we got along, but he did say something fresh to me or something like that. I knew that he wanted he wanted me to hang out with him in his back in wherever he lives, maybe Brooklyn or something like that, or to down Bronx or somewhere. Okay, so but it was getting late, and so he was. I felt like like we got along, okay, but I think that I think he got a little brush with me, but I was like, it was getting late, and I said, you should know who I am. Okay, okay, bye now. Okay, and it's getting late, so yeah, so basically I told him, I'm here to hang out, not make out, and it's past my bedtime, bottom line. Okay, so he knew that, and then I saw him maybe one or two times again, and then stopped or something like that. I don't know. But there's a reason for everything, so we know now. Okay. There's a connection, and the connection is his name. His last name Morris. Morris Code, Marsh. The seafood too, and the Fulton Fish Market too. I forgot to mention